money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. A lot to get into this hour. In 15 minutes, we'll get into tonight's college basketball card, update the bracket matrix. Reeler Fugazi coming up bottom of the hour here. Best bets in soccer this weekend. Steve Wyss joins the program. You can follow him on X. He is at Meatman Soccer. Podcast here, Nordic Football Pod. And because we win, he's on the Progressive guest line. Steve, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Oh, good day to you guys. I'm pretty good. I hope you're doing really well.
Back at you. Mutual friend of all three of us here on the program, Nigel Seeley, seems to think, and we talk about this with you now like every week, but it's close, right?
Better be.
And this weekend's March, so it could be a couple days after that. The points deduction for Man City, Nigel thinks 40 or more. Are you in that same ballpark with him?
Yeah, I've always thought they'd get at least 30 points when the announcement comes out, and then they probably appeal it, and who knows what happens then. It could be a long, drawn-out process, but look, 115 charges is so significant. I think if they're found guilty of most of these, they're going to have to be hit hard. Just today, I think they're the whole of the Spanish league are going to make some sort of claim against them as well for financial regulations, spending in the European competition. So, there's so much sort of dirty laundry with Manchester City that I feel like it's all going to come out very soon, though, that's for sure.
Are you familiar with something called Nottingham Live?
I'm not actually, no.
Okay, because I just did a quick Google search on it. That was the first one that popped up not that long ago, and their prediction, the way it looks, is between 60 and 100 points.
Yeah.
100 points?
That's what it says, yeah.
I saw the same thing.
Others are saying 100 is possible.
If it's 100 points, I mean, you might as well just give up the whole season. They'll obviously go down the championship. I can't believe it'd be 100 points, but listen, there's all sorts of numbers being thrown about. I think we'll finally get some answers within the next two weeks, hopefully.
That's what Pep said, the manager, and also it's just a fiasco for bettors if they appeal. And you're right about how long it's going to take, because this was the number one bet pre-season was for them to be relegated. So it goes back to, I think there has to be something, handshake agreement. Maybe we'll only give you 40, but no appeal, and let's move on and let's get this over with.
Well, I'll tell you what might actually happen in the future. Just forget Manchester City for now. We might get a situation where any anti-post future bets, the markets are going to have it, whereas it won't count in any potential deductions. Yeah, because that's the way it's fair for everyone, and because you're right. There's so much money at stake here for the bettors, not just relegation. You have to win the league, top 4, top 10, whatever. There's actually an FA Cup match. Manchester City are the favourites to win the FA Cup this season. That's about the only market you can safely back them in, really. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be affected in that competition this season. So, it's a mess. It's been a mess on and off the field. We need to get some resolutions now. I feel like we're getting closer. It's not great. It's not a great time for Man City.
Okay, FA Cup, as you mentioned. What do you think Sunday, as you like to continue to fade Man U?
Yeah, I think Manchester United were very lucky on last night against Ipswich. They won 3-2 with 10 men. Very fortunate to be playing one of the worst teams in the Premier League. I actually think Fulham are, with a bit of luck with the draw, they could actually go all the way to Wembley and even win the FA Cup. Anyone can still win the FA Cup, by the way. Man City, the favourites in it, but they're much more beatable this season. I think a good bet here in this match is Fulham to qualify at plus 110. They've got the 6th best away record in the Premier League for a start. Manchester United have lost 7 times at Old Trafford this season. I actually think Fulham are the better team. In fact, if you look at all the stats and the metrics, they will back me up as well. On paper, they're the better team as well. Bruno Fernandes is one of the top stars in the Premier League if he's in good form for Man United, but they haven't got much else. So I think Fulham can at least, this is to qualify. The match can go extra time and penalties. If they win in any of those fashions and inside the 90 minutes, this bet will cash. I think Fulham can have a deep run in the FA Cup.
Okay, how about a total? Newcastle, the total's 3 against Brighton. What do you think?
Goals. I think this could be a really good cup tie. Both teams are going to be targeting the FA Cup, especially Brighton, who they've got not a lot else to play for, really. But I mean, they've had a really good upturn in form as well since they lost 7-0 against Nottingham Forest, so their confidence should be high. Newcastle, we know they're after trophies. They haven't won a major trophy since 1954. They're in the Carabao Cup final in 2-3 weeks' time against Liverpool. Maybe they might be able to lift some silverware there, but they've got to try and keep their fingers in as many pies as possible, as we say over here. Stay in these cups and give themselves the best chance to lift some silverware, because their fans are desperate to win something. It's been so many decades.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think both teams really go at this hard. The last 5 Newcastle home games have been over 2.5 goals. Brighton have had 10 out of 14 away games in the Premier League go over 2.5. So it should be a good matchup for it, really. Some recent Newcastle matches have been a bit mental. 4-3 against Forest. So I think at very least we get 3 goals here. So I think it makes sense to take the over in this cup tie.
Follow the money, Pauly and Mitch VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. VSiN.com, Sirius XM Channel 158. The Meat Man's our guest on the Progressive Guest Line at Meat Man Soccer on X, because we win pod. How about lower leagues? League One? You want to take Burton here. What's the price? Why? Why do you like them?
I think both teams have had a complete contrast in form. This is Burton against Mansfield. Burton didn't win a single game until the 9th of November, I don't think it was. So they had a shocking start to the season. But they have steadily improved. They're still in the relegation zone, but only just. 1 loss in 9 games. And they are now facing a Mansfield side who are in freefall. 9 defeats out of 10. So I don't really get how you can get Burton on a draw no bet at -117. I think it's a huge, huge odds. 2 teams going in different directions. Burton look like they probably will survive now if they keep this sort of form up. And Mansfield could get dragged into this relegation battle. So with full draw security, if the match ends a draw, you will not lose anything. Burton draw no bet. It's just an obvious play. -117. Sometimes you just got to lap these ones up, I think.
All right, and one more in La Liga.
This is a really interesting game. This is Atletico Madrid against Athletic Bilbao. Now, a lot of people might not have really heard of Athletic Bilbao or know much about them. They're a very, very unique club. All their players are either born in the Basque Country region of Spain or have come through their academy. They don't sign any foreign players or anything like that. So they've always got a lot of players who play for them. It means a lot for them, for the club to do well. And I think they can come to Atletico Madrid and avoid defeat. Draw double chance on Athletic Bilbao, -125. This is too big. They haven't lost in La Liga since the 6th of October. They've only lost 3 games all season, league games, that is. They're a very good team. I think they're really, really good. They've got a manager who's won La Liga twice before for Barcelona, in Ernesto Valverde. He had a 43-game unbeaten run while he was manager of Barcelona. So they've got a great boss. I mean, I can't believe they're still 500 to 1 to win La Liga, actually. I had a nibble of that the other day. They're only 6 points off the top of the table.
Wow.
And they're 6 to 1 in the market. If you can have a bet without market, bet without Real Madrid and Barcelona. They're 6 to 1 to effectively finish above Atletico Madrid and Villarreal. I think that's a massive price. Obviously, it will help them greatly if they can beat Atletico away. And Atletico, I just think, they're not a bad team at all, but they've had some tough fixtures recently.
Great to talk to you.
Really bad spot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Really bad spot.
Great to talk to you, my friend. I love your pod, love your work, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Yes, take care.
Thank you.
Take care.
It's a Meat Man, Steve Wyss. Because we win, Nordic Pod as well. Telegram, Meat Man Soccer on X as well. I'll tell you what's going to happen. It's going to come down next week. We're going to be on the air, and it's going to be significant. And Nigel's source says 40 points, and it's a good source. I read the same article you did. The first thing that comes up, 60 to 100. And then you're going to see appeal. You're going to get all excited, and then at the bottom it's going to say they appeal, which then God knows how long they drag it on.
Well, some have speculated that if they appeal, the punishment could be even worse.
Right.
So,
including our last guest.
So I think maybe that's exactly what we're going to have here. Look, it's going to be 40 points, no appeal. Take it or leave it, because if you appeal, forget about it. I mean, we're going to throw the entire book at you, and you're not going to get
awesome.
out of it.
I would love for them to say that and do that, because also it's just a nightmare for bettors. If this drags into next year and you lose all your bets, and it's just say, wow, okay, well, it is a significant deduction, but it's between appeals, who knows how long it takes.
Here's what I have. I did not bet on them to get relegated. Did you?
Right. Yes, but it's not
It's not even worth it?
No,
Okay.
because they have some easy matches, and the teams at the bottom of the table are putrid.
This goes back to December 10th. I have finished bottom 10, 5-1.
Yes, so do I.
And not to finish top 4 plus 160.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So you're damn right. Throw the book at him now. No appeal here, boys, and let's get the show on the road.
You imagine if it's 50 or 60?
Well, then
you're looking at negative points then, and a couple months left in the season.
Right.
You want to know where the money's really going? Only VSiN gives you exclusive access to betting splits from Circa and DraftKings. Unlike other sources, our betting splits come straight for Circa and DraftKings, giving you insight into where the sharp action's landing. Circa takes huge bets from pro bettors, and DraftKings provides a broader market perspective. You're getting the real action, not just the public money, but the kind of wagers that move lines. See the percentage of bets versus percentage of handle on every game across every sport, helping you make smarter, more informed bets. Betting splits, one of the perks, $9.99 first month, vsin.com/subscribe. Join the team now and get the MLB betting guide, vsin.com/subscribe.
Good stuff there from the meat man. How about that? He took a little bit of nibble on that team at 500-1. 6 points out in the table. All right. Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Up next, we will get into college basketball. We're going to update the bracket matrix. I don't think the ones are set in stone, and I think we're absolutely going to get movement, maybe plenty of it, on the number 2 line, and Greg Peterson here at the network makes them the favorite, and they're catching 4 points. We'll tell you about that game coming up next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's a hardcore college basketball card tonight. Thursday here. Not getting much in the top 25, but I will give you this. VSiN.com, that doesn't slow down Greg Peterson. He has like 12 or 13 bets that he likes on the card tonight. That's what you really got to love. So he follows this stuff.
He loves the trash like Richie B. So does Berkey.
This is no joke. You could throw Kennesaw State at Greg Peterson. He will rattle off the starting 5. It's crazy. So here's the game I was talking about before the break. His write-up is at vsin.com. I would implore you to go there and become a VSiN Pro subscriber, read all of it, get his bets. I'll give you one of them. UNC Wilmington plays at Campbell. This is at 7 o'clock Eastern, so coming up in about an hour and 45 minutes. Currently, Campbell is still catching plus 4 points. He makes them 1.5. He does like quick hitters, right? Quick snippets on these games. Campbell is is number 3 in the country in opponent three-point shooting percentage at home. They only allow teams to shoot 24.7%. NC Wilmington, 15th in the country in offensive rebound percentage, but Campbell allows opponents to rebound only 23% of their missed shots at home. That's top 50, 55 nationally. So he makes them the favorite. They're at home. They're catching 4 points right now as we speak.
Yep. Wilmington, second place in the Coastal. Looking forward to that conference tournament coming up. Good one there. He also, Wichita, program's been down now for a couple years. Wichita's a 1-point favorite against UAB. Peterson makes UAB 5.
Wow, okay.
Yes. And I would love to see this matchup come conference tournament time. UAB against North Texas in the semis for the right to likely take on Memphis in the title game. That conference tournament is in Fort Worth, Texas. There's usually only friends and family in the arena. But in any event, that those are 2 good teams, and we'll see tonight. Okay, we'll see if Hoops is right. Makes UAB 5, yet it's Wichita 1 or Pick'em in some spots, and Florida Atlantic is lane 1 against North Texas.
All right.
Who also having a good season and a good program as well, and North Texas has done damage in the tournament as well. My top play and what I bet, what were you going to say?
I'm going to tail him on those games, and I think I know where you're going to go with this, and I'm not going to disagree.
So, out here, Big West tournament, we all want round 3. We want the rubber match with UC San Diego and Cal Irvine. The one team standing in the way are the Matadors, Cal State Northridge. They just beat Irvine. They're 3rd place. Good team. And San Diego, if they want to get an at-large in case they stub their toe, again, no margin for error. It's ridiculous. It's, like Barkley said, he's talking about how we got to do a better job and give the smaller schools a chance. And then the announcers immediately changed the subject. And what Jerry Palm said with us on Monday, 11 seed, 12 seed in some spots. great record. Went into Logan and beat Utah State, which is hard to do. 24-4 on the season, 14-2 in league. But I took Northridge plus 5.5. I wouldn't be surprised if Northridge wins the game. And San Diego is on a roll. They're kicking ass and taking names. But I think 5.5 here too much. And I took the Matadors at home tonight, 7 o'clock.
All right, that's coming out of left field. That's not the game I thought you were going to go with. The game I thought you were going to go with for sure is Detroit playing at Green Bay. And tip of the cap to Jonathan Von Tobel here on VSiN for being all over this since like day one of the college basketball season, because Green Bay, until recent form, they were one of the worst teams in the country at covering games. And it kind of makes sense, right? Their head coach is Doug Gottlieb, who has a nationally syndicated radio show. And he is still obsessed with doing the show and being on social media and on Twitter and at Radio Row at the Super Bowl and being involved with everything but his basketball team. So they've been in better form recently. But now Green Bay is laying 3.5, or you can maybe find a 4 out there as well against Detroit.
What's the history here? Is this a team this late in the year to only have 3 wins and they're favored?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. They're 3-24 or whatever, 3-28, and they're laying.
This is another one. Greg Peterson here makes Detroit 3.5.
Whoa.
Here's the write-up. Green Bay, last in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. That tells me lack of hustle. They don't respect the coach. They're not going to go out there and grind all the time. 14.9%. On defense, they rank 340th in home three-point defense, allowing opponents to shoot 39% from beyond the arc. Detroit allows teams to shoot 32.9% from three-point range. I think by default, I'm going to take Detroit because it has been such a nightmarish season for Gottlieb in year number 1 as the Green Bay coach.
Yep.
So you're right.
Yep.
I mean,
3-26. Sorry, 3-26. Yep, 3-26 in their favor.
They've been a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And they're laying points at home.
Yep.
Now, Mercy is nothing to write home about. They're 8-21 on the season here. But that was a great angle to catch from JVT to start the season. He's like, it's going to be impossible. You can't do both that well. He's spot on. I mean, if you honestly take your radio show seriously, which we do, I don't think we've ever mailed in a show in the 7+ years we've been here. How do you possibly become a head coach for the first time in your life at a college basketball program?
Yep.
You can't do it. You can't. You have to live the radio show.
Yep.
Or you have to live being a head bat. You can't live being both.
Yeah.
So
well said. Disaster.
It's also a black eye for his future if he wanted to be a coach anywhere else. I firmly believe that. Because
you had to quit one.
Of course, it's going to be...
You had to quit the radio to be the coach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. The St. Mary's too much tonight off the huge win against Gonzaga on the road. They're 14 at Marymount. It's their final road game of the season until they come out here.
These spot games have not exactly gone... They haven't been too hot. So.
I know. There's been no letdowns, no look-aheads, nothing.
Right.
And I love St. Mary's, but 14 at Marymount could be a lot too. And maybe the game's played, maybe they only get to 70 points, high 60s.
All right, so reacting to last night's action that we had in college basketball, you love Northridge. Your bet of the day.
Yeah.
Okay. A&M lost again. That's 3 straight. They close at Florida. They get the number 1 team in the country, the Auburn Tigers at home. They play at LSU, the 20th in the net. They are 6-6 in quad 1 games. They were, again, at bracketmatrix.com. They take the average ranking from 115 different bracketologists, right? A&M was on the 2 line. Their average number was 2.57. That's not happening. They're not going to land a 2 because they were in great form and they were an awesome story, but it has not continued here. And so they're going to slide to a 3, maybe even a 4, who knows. Then who's going to creep up then and take that 2 spot? Could it be Wisconsin?
Yeah.
You think so? With Michigan State now firmly entrenched now as a 2.
That was a big win. Well, Wisconsin was a 2 till they blew the Oregon game, but they have time. Yeah. And again, the issue with the committee is they put too much emphasis on these conference tournaments.
I totally agree.
You can really rocket up the seed line by going to a title game or winning the whole thing entirely, and that's why even I can't dismiss A&M, but that's a tough loss too. But how about St. John's?
Well, to your point, I mean, if they were to win out, they have Seton Hall. They play at Marquette. Marquette's good. That'd be a really nice road win to get that. But the Big East is not that great either. Paul, they are 17th in net, and they're currently 3-4 in quad 1 games. They don't have many chances left. I mean, certainly the Marquette game would be one. Maybe two games in the Big East tournament could be quad 1. Are you going to? What if they continue to be hot here? It's a great story, obviously in New York.
Yep.
So people would fall for that as well. Patino, media darling.
Big East Conference tournament will be great.
Oh, well.
With them, yeah.
With them, okay, yeah. But if they were to run, they were thought to be some people were saying 4 was a ceiling. Because they're going to have too much to overcome.
No.
I would love to see them get a 2. But
maybe 3, but ceiling, but yeah.
Yeah, they're currently on the 3 with the bracket matrix. They're the last 3.
Yeah. Well, you see what happens here. I mean, you take some bad losses and all these teams fall back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think they're an excellent chance to win a Big East tournament, too. And they can go into Marquette and win.
Oh, they're going to be...
Guy's phenomenal what he's doing.
Yeah, the clear short shot there to win that conference tournament.
Yeah. Another one, that's I think that's it for Wake. Lost at home to Virginia. Vanderbilt probably punched their ticket, winning at A&M. And now maybe Utah State's on the bubble now. You don't want to lose at Colorado State Saturday. Well, you were a 9 seed. What if you lose? You got to go on the road now to Colorado State. You lose that game, I mean, what are you, 10? 11? You got to be careful now. Are they really going to give 3 bids to the Mountain West? 4? Because Boise makes a run out here, too. They're in the mix as well.
Yeah, it's true.
They're playing well. But again, you have to respect these home courts and how hard it is to go on the road and win. That's a good program, and Boise toyed with them.
Right.
They took out New Mexico a week before.
They killed both teams in the second half.
Yeah.
Killed them.
And they beat Clemson.
True.
That looks good as well. What do you think Louisville should get? They've won like 15 to 16.
They're solid.
But it goes back to how the league you play in and all that as well. I'll see, yeah. Well, I think Lenardi updates it tomorrow. Betting on sports, why not try the races? First Bet lets you wager on hundreds of horse races every day. Top tracks across the U.S. and around the world. Sign up firstbet.com, promo code VSIN200. Get a 20% rebate for your first 60 days, up to $200. Head to firstbet.com today.
Louisville is currently on the 7 line.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but they have a chance to go up for sure.
Our buddy, Dr. Gebhardt, Hoosiers, best sports movie all time. I raised 4 daughters. I would make the boys that came over to the house and date them watch the movie with me. I can recite every line in the movie. I want to win it for my dad. I want to win it for the small schools. Never had a chance to be there. True story, based on the team in 1954. Hoosiers, baby.
Yeah,
Dr. Gebhardt.
There's no, I mean, if you go back and watch Hoosiers tonight and you walk away, not very good. I really have to question what you think about a lot of things in life. This specific matchup in the NBA Finals would be better than a great Final Four. Is that real or Fugazi? Next.
This is Follow the Money on VSIN.
Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard are here to make you a friend of ours.
That would mean you were made guy.
Investigating what is and isn't legit.
That's a Fugazi. All right? That's a Fugazi. I looked at it for 2 seconds.
Seeing through the lines to make you a better.
I know you know. And I know you know I know you know.
The FTM Army is being sent for.
In our thing, you get sent for, you go in alive, you come out dead. And it's your best friend that does it.
These 2 wise guys would never steer you wrong.
Forget about it.
This is Real or Fugazi on Follow the Money.
Over the weekend, you hit a Royal for $20,000. Your favorite sports team is Kentucky basketball. Hitting the Royal was better than when Kentucky won the title the last time. Or, I guess, the Patino team, if you want to go there. Real or Fugazi?
Man, that's such a great question. Because, okay, I need to explain this for 1 second. Why does that make any sense? I grew up 2 older brothers. My oldest brother, Matt, loved Kentucky basketball early to mid-'80s. So whatever he liked, my other brother, Chris, whatever they liked, it would trickle down to me. Like, hey, I love those guys. I mean, I think it was so cool to like what they also liked. So Kentucky basketball was it for me. And watching those early 90s teams with Patino was the best basketball I've ever, full court press, bombs away back then, 3-point shooting. I had never had a team win a title in my life. The Packers were irrelevant for a long time. They stunk, and I was from Wisconsin. So that team being the first team ever to do it, pulled it off, and the 96 Kentucky team is arguably the best of all time. It meant so much to me at the time. You know, obviously, I was, 18, 19 years old? Whatever it was then. So it was huge for me. You know, followed that team, watched every single game when they were on TV, lived and breathed with them the entire time, but it's a $20,000 Royal, man. Not much is going to top that. I would say that winning Last Man Standing, the football contest out here in 2006, that we split $17,600, my buddy and I. I'd say that was better than winning the Royal because that was 9 weeks. We had to have one game against the spread that we only had one entry. That was probably actually better than hitting the Royal, even though it didn't pay as much.
Very good. All right. Accountant 2. More excited for Accountant 2 coming up than first round NHL playoffs. Real or Fugazi?
Well, it's got to be Fugazi because I don't even know what Accountant 1 is.
You didn't see it? Ben Affleck?
No, I
didn't like. Oh my God!
No,
you're watching Field of Dreams.
Yeah, I was watching replays of that because I hated it so much.
They've been showing it nonstop on HBO. That's a good movie.
You randomly have HBO on?
Yeah.
So I don't.
I always flip and see what's on with the new movies and stuff, and they've been showing Accountant on it. Well, I got every HBO channel, but then they keep showing a lot of the Accountant. It's a great cast: Affleck, J.K. Simmons, the Punisher.
Don't look
What's
at me.
his name? Great actor. Help me out. The Punisher. The guy's great. Bernthal. Thank you. Anyways, you didn't. Okay. It's a great. Anyways, Accountant 2's coming out. Affleck does a great job in the movie.
You're telling me you're more excited for that than the NHL playoffs?
I'm asking you.
No, it's Fugazi.
I asked Paul.
It's Fugazi.
I asked Paul, was he more excited for SNL 50 than first round of the NHL playoffs? I was more excited for SNL 50 because it was 3.5 hours.
Well, that's pretty exciting to me.
Buc-ee's is too popular. Real or Fugazi?
Again, I got to say Fugazi.
Yeah. Luke just put up a good video showing how big it is.
Right.
Oh, man.
Never been, can't really comment, but also the fact that we're so intrigued that we would actually ponder, hey, on Saturday we're going to fly to what's close. There's one in Colorado, Ebony, that's close.
Luke, get Barkley on the show. You can do that. Get Barkley on. He was on last night. I go all the time, but I've never been inside, he says, because there's always 100 people waiting.
Oh, the reaction to go down this path again. People are explaining that the sandwiches, like the food, is all fresh.
Barbecue.
It's all hot at the time.
Yeah.
It's super efficient. They said you could have a board meeting in the bathrooms. It's so clean. So I'm intrigued.
Wow.
I can't say too popular.
He's never been inside. There's always so many people.
Well, also you have to consider he's Charles Barkley, so he's going to be also. But he likes the attention.
But he went. It's funny you bring that up because he went on a rant about that. Like, what are you doing at the dry cleaner? What are you doing? I'm a normal person. What do you mean? What do you mean? I got to run errands. I have to do stuff. He says. He goes, people, why are you pumping gas? Why are you at the dry cleaner? What do you mean? Boston OKC final over a great Final Four. Real or Fugazi?
You know what? I'm going to go real. I would actually throw in Cleveland OKC.
Would you go Boston Lakers?
I would.
So would I. Okay.
And so
7 games, all nothing, dead time in sports. Give me something.
Sure, but you could give me right now the best possible Final Four. Forget betting for a second. Like the best teams, right? They get there. We got a bunch of ones. Maybe there's a 2 in there. I hate to do this, to be the bearer of bad news, the dark cloud, right? The Final Four never lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
It always disappoints. Just go back and we'll do this again coming up because there's props out there. Biggest victory or biggest margin of victory over the weekend.
You can get a good final or a good game, but it's never
all 3 games.
You're right.
Never.
To get all 3.
You're going to get a game where it's a 30-point dud. Happens all the time. So, 7 games, potential with that, I'm in.
I love, and it's hard, to beat a good chicken Caesar salad. Real or Fugazi?
Okay. Fugazi.
You.
Fugazi. I'm going to have the hottest take on the show I've had today. This is going to blow away your Field of Dreams thing in a second. What if I told you the best chicken Caesar salad you could ever have is about 5 hours away from Las Vegas on a drive? I was there last summer. Would you have any interest in going there? You want to go to Buc-ee's? You love chicken Caesar salads.
Drive 5 hours for a salad?
You could fly and then maybe drive.
Oh, where is it?
Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh, get out of here. What were you doing there?
Hand on the Bible.
Oh, my God.
So I don't think this is urban legend. We went to a dinner. My buddies are vets of San Diego and Tijuana. I'm going to leave it at that. We went to a place called Caesar's. I never put 2 and 2 together. They ordered it for the table. They said this is the birthplace of the chicken Caesar salad. We tried it. It was unlike any other chicken Caesar salad I've ever had.
Was Bob Cobb down the street?
Yes, it was. Cobb's, it was called.
Cobb's.
So that chicken Caesar salad, yes, because it's epic how good it was. But I still got to put like a good steak salad ahead of it. Here's my hot take. This is one where 2% of the audience will agree with me. You can't beat, no pun intended, you cannot beat the perfect beet salad. It's an acquired taste. I like to try it. I call myself Bourdain Jr. I'm open to anything pretty much in the world to try it at least once. Beets have grown on me like you won't believe. Problem is I can't eat them anymore because they gave me a kidney stone.
That was the culprit?
Yes, it was.
Okay, that's too bad.
Yeah.
All right. Injury or not, Carter isn't going to the Titans #1 overall. Real or Fugazi?
I don't think so.
Not much movement, though. Ward only ticked up a little bit.
The Ward was 9-1. Now, they announced today, it was looking bad last night for Carter, like, the surgery's going to mean something. Then today they said, no, not going to happen.
No surgery.
No surgery there.
The big move was Ward is now $5 to be the first quarterback selected. It was $2.50 a couple days ago. That prop also, Sanders and Sanders, to go to the Raiders, went from 30-1 to 20-1.
It did?
Yeah.
I think that can happen. But, maybe I'm dead wrong on this. Is Carter the guy that you would take if you're Tennessee, picking #1 overall?
And I like what Hunter said today. It's a big deal for me to go #1.
Yeah.
I'd take Hunter.
And he also said, look, I truly believe, now he has to say this because he wants to go #1 overall, but he goes, I believe I'm unlike any other player to come out in the draft. He goes, because trust me on this, I can play both positions.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Good job, guys.
Good stuff.
Can't believe you.
Oh, which one?
A lot of it.
That I've never seen the account?
Yeah.
Oh, but
it's a good movie.
Paul, you don't even want me to read the tweets that are coming in.
On the account?
No, on Field of Dreams.
I'm getting crushed?
Oh, 95% of them agree with me.
You're kidding.
No, I swear to God.
What am I missing here?
Go back and watch. I think you're going to say
I didn't
as
really
as I remember.
Huh?
I think you're going to say not as good
Too
as I remember.
cheesy? Put the poll up. Can we put a poll up? How do you want to put the poll up?
Am I on drugs?
No. Is Field of Dreams overrated? Too cheesy? What do you want to use? Overrated?
Yes.
Is Field of Dreams overrated?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good. Also, see, I have a funny feeling about this.
You have support. Yeah, I see you have support.
I have not watched Caddyshack in a long time, but people are saying that it has not aged well.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, I mean, it was made in very early 1980s? How many movies overall aged that well over that, God. Hey, look, I'm sorry about Accountant 1.
Well, here's the other thing, though, too. It's like things have changed now, and COVID had a little bit to do with it. But how many chances do you get now where I can go to the theater and see a big-time movie?
No, I know.
Right?
Yeah, Mission Impossible this year, that'll be it for me.
I'm waiting for another year for Mission Impossible.
So are you in for Tijuana or no? You want to go to Caesars?
I'm not going to Tijuana again. That was a bad experience. No way, no how. They almost got Vaccaro. Remember Vaccaro told that
great story.
Yeah. You ran what do you say? You ran a stop sign. The bus. What are you talking about? The bus was on bricks.
It was on bricks.
You had to pull out money. It was a bribe. You had to bribe the guy. I'm taking you to jail. I can't find it.
By the way,
not enough time.
Pro move by Vaccaro. Huh? He had a lot of cash on him.
Yes.
The biggest wad was in his left pocket.
What the right
and
pocket?
And he only had 20 in his right. He goes, here you go. Here's what I have on me, and they fell for it.
Yes.
They didn't search him or anything like that.
You ran a stop sign. It's on bricks.
We'll get into great nuggets from the VSiN Major League Baseball betting guide coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
The VSiN Baseball betting guide dropped late last night. Adam Burke, awesome on baseball, wrote the entire thing. There's a lot of great nuggets that you're going to want to get when you go to vsin.com/subscribe. Sign up today, $9.99 for the first 30 days with a VSiN Pro subscription. You're going to want to file this away for the entire season. He handicaps overall pitchers, awards and futures markets, the full stats glossary that he points out and runs down. Very, very good. That's the kind of stuff that you're going to want to keep on hand. Especially if you're just new to betting baseball, you're getting into this stuff, and you want to take it a little bit more seriously and do your own handicapping, the stuff that he points out that you want to pay attention to on a daily basis is going to be the key to that. I have some player props so far that we pointed out on the show. I don't have a lot of team player props so far. I don't have a team to win the World Series. I haven't made a division bet yet, although I have my eyes on two different teams. I don't have a win total. I also don't like tying up money. This might sound dumb to some because I bet like Cy Young, but that's, I can have action every day. You can have action every single day on a win total. I don't like doing too many because now you got to, it's going to be 8 months before you get your return back potentially.
You can jump in too.
Sure, you can.
I bet the Dodgers over, the Diamondbacks over, and the Red Sox over. I
like the Diamondbacks a lot.
Yep. To get Burns in that rotation, Burns, Gallen, Fott, Kelly, Rodriguez. And I agree with Derek. I think they're going to benefit from Colorado being awful and the Padres being down as well. And they're expected to trade Cease. The Red Sox, what's not to like about the Red Sox?
I agree.
Bregman's going to play second base. He has great numbers career at Fenway. Your rotation now is Crochet, Giolito, Crawford, Houck, Bayo. The bullpen was horrendous in the second half. You get Chapman. You get Hendricks. I think they should be able to be contenders and certainly be a playoff team. And those are a couple of AL Central's intriguing. I know Adam Burke made the case for the Tigers, 35-40-1 on a future. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Twins have another rough season, considering how the fan base has turned on ownership, and I don't blame them.
Well, he pointed out the Tigers because if you have that number and they get into the playoffs again this year, first of all, you're going to have the hammer going every whatever it is going to be in the playoffs. You can go game 1, potentially game 4, whatever, with Skubal, and you're going to have the advantage there. They had a lot of young players who were coming into their form last season. It's a tough division, though, in my opinion. I think a lot of people probably agree with that, although I think Adam's also down in the Royals this year.
Yes, he is, yeah. I watched that clip on VSiN. It's a good case.
Yeah, okay. But so the Tigers there at that number, and I'll tie it into...
They tweeted out the clip, sorry.
Okay. I'll tie it into a bet that I made last night, second time, in that same city. I bet the Pistons. I have them at we brought this up on the air. I have them at 270-1 to win the East, and I added more last night at 125-1. These are not big bets. I have $175 so far down, and I could potentially win almost $40,000. Do I expect them to come out of the East? Hell no. But that's not a lot of action on my end with a pretty decent amount of liability potentially at the end of it.
Well, we've seen several injuries, too, over the years.
Sure. And then, they're the 6th seed right now. They might get the 5. I talked to Von Tobel last night. He loves them if they get the Knicks in the first round. Regardless, I can hedge against them whenever I want, as long as they're the 5 or the 6 seed.
Yeah.
And I can lock in a profit just at that point. So that's kind of his thing with the Tigers as well. You have a team here with that guy and a young core. That guy, I mean Skubal as the starting pitcher, and a young core who could easily get in, and then you're going to be live in some of these series. You could hedge out of it if you would like.
I forgot Buehler for the Red Sox, too. How about Seattle? Burke making the case for Gilbert, Cy Young, 16-1.
Yeah.
Their pitching was so good last year, and they blew it. Their offense and bullpen issues. Castillo, Kirby, Miller, Gilbert, Wu. Houston's down. Can Seattle make some noise finally? It's a good rotation.
Okay, so I would like to say that the rotation can absolutely be as strong as they were last year. And having said that, I can add that the lineup can probably only be better.
Yeah.
Now, you can come back and say, well,
yes.
Mitch, what if the lineup is the same and the rotation is not as good? I understand that. But I think the guys in that starting staff are good enough and young enough to remain at that level for maybe. And by the way, Castillo's not even the ace on the team. So forget about that for a second. You drop him down to like the 3 or the 4 in that roster or that staff, you're much better off. And the offense can only get better. Again, what was it? They led the league in ERA and they were last in batting average?
Yeah. And they set a record, I think, for quality starts.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't even close.
I got to tell you.
Team record, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking more at this Red Sox roster. And Adam in the guide for American League MVP, I was on some player props last year for Duran, and he led the league in doubles, and he tied for the league in triples. He's 35 to win the American League MVP. Like, look, it's going to be difficult to overcome in both leagues. Like, you have to overcome Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr. They're at the very top, and some other guys are also ahead of him. But again, he was fantastic last year. What if he takes another leap? And now he's batting in front of Devers, Bregman, a healthy Casas, Story, Yoshida. That's the top 6 in the rotation in the lineup. And then, like you said, there's a lot to potentially like here with that starting staff.
Yep.
Why can't they win that division at around plus 450?
Where you at with the Mets?
Oh, hold on one second here.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, I know. But that's, I know. But I'm out on, I'll tell you this right now. I'm out on Baltimore.
Well, so am I.
I'm sick of them.
Yep.
Sick of the whole organization, the front office. I mean, make a move. Go for it. And they've also embarrassed themselves the last 2 years in the playoffs.
Sure. So I think the Red Sox are better than them. I also think that they're in the conversation. Yankees are probably still on paper the best team overall in the division. Red Sox are close.
Yeah. Best bet, Red Sox over? What do you want to do? What's your best bet?
I like them because I like the idea of grabbing a little plus 425, plus 450 to win the division.
All right. Brought to you by G-Bank, official bank of VSiN. Red Sox make the big move this year. Up in the ante, $750 bonus for new G-Bank Visa signature card for customers and new customers who spend $1,000 on eligible purchases within 90 days from account opening get a $250 bonus. And if you spend $50,000 on gaming and sports app loads within the 30 days of account opening, you get another $500 bonus. So a $750 bonus. Apply now. VSiN.com/GBank. VSiN.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
So what do you think of the Mets? So I think the team in New York that can be good again this year would be the Yankees.
Yeah.
Too many question marks, I think, about the Mets pitching.
Yeah, and Manaea hurt already. It also seems that you want the Mets when there's not big expectations. Mm-hmm. When they have the huge expectations, they don't deliver.
I think last year was probably the perfect example. The last 2 years, actually.
You're in a tough division, too. I mean, still you look Mets, and they're the third choice in their own division.
Right.
To come out of there. And the others, I mean, what was this Yankee stuff last week with the stupid mustache and the face? Who cares?
How about the
front page? Who cares about what you can facial hair and what?
You see the photo shoot they did?
Oh, God.
Okay. So to win the National League MVP, Burke was pointed out maybe Jackson Merrill, 35-1. Upside there is so big. His numbers were awesome last year. He likes him at that number better than a guy like Corbin Carroll in that same division.
Yeah.
But again, you have to overcome Ohtani. You have to overcome Juan Soto.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so like to get past those two guys alone will be very difficult.
I don't mind Burns 12-1 Cy Young. That's not crazy.
Of course not.
I think he could have a big year. And he's already done it, so that's not... It goes back, especially what if the Dodgers going to a 6-man rotation, too?
Sure.
I mean, if you're going to... There could be an injury. Snell gets off to slow starts.
Well, Snell could walk the ballpark and, for a month straight. That's who he is and what he does.
Look at Skeens. My God. This is Wembenyama Part 2. This is just like a 3-1 to win the Cy Young. Yeah, and then the Dodgers like 275 to win the World Series. Oh.
You can't bet Skeens at 3-1.
No.
There's no way. I can't bet Snell or check that sale at 8-1. There's absolutely no chance. He was amazing last year, took it down, but 8-1 now. No, thank you. Burns was in the mix pretty much the entire year until the end with the American League Cy Young and Scoopel. Well, if you told me right now that Hunter Green was going to stay healthy, I'd pop him at 30-1 and also most strikeouts. But that's the thing. I brought up the Reds during the break, but you said same thing every single year with this team.
Well, that's what Von Tobel said. He might be right. It's like it seems every year it's like watch out for the Reds. Reds could be a sleeper. Here come the Reds. No, they're not. No Reds.
Yeah. I want to like them.
I see that.
Yeah. Should the Cubs be where they're at in that division with that number?
Well, a lot of people are high on them, and also the advanced metrics, too. I mean, some expect 90 wins.
I know.
That could happen. Like the moves they made in the offseason, great rotation. I think it speaks more to what the rest of the division is, though. Because the Reds 78.5, Cardinals take a big step back, waiting on the Arenado mess, and who knows what happened with the Brewers. Maybe last year was a fluke with Milwaukee. Pirates better be good.
Yeah, they better hover around 500
Yes.
at least, right?
Yes, they should with that pitching staff.
Up next, Ed Barkowitz is going to join the program. Longtime sports writer at Philadelphia and has covered sports betting for many years. Now teaches a class at Rowan University. A 2-year trial that has turned into a full-time curriculum at the school. Could this become commonplace across the country?
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.